continue along the way on a busy program as we chat to you about what's going on as far as the world of sports is concerned on this Thursday afternoon in hour two. There's only really nothing going on. I cannot get into the All-Star game. I know that ESPN is going to beat you over the head with it. It's a TNT event, but ESPN is going to beat you over the head with it these next 3 days. I know they've changed it. I cannot get into it at all. Sunday at 8 o'clock, I would be shocked. Now, my kids might want to watch it, so that plays into it a little bit, but I would be shocked if I'm sitting here, at 8 o'clock on Sunday night watching the NBA All-Star game. And ESPN's going to beat you over the head with it, so you got to live with it. They're going to have all their shows there. I know they changed the format. Curry's team, LeBron's team, and all that, and maybe they feel there's a little more of a invested scenario for the two players, so since they were drafted and picked by both captains, that maybe the game will have a little more intensity, a little bit more of an integrity to it. The game has been a complete joke for the NBA, although they claim not, but it has been. They almost scored 200 points. Nobody plays any defense. The game's a pitiful game. In the old days, it wasn't, but it has become that. Maybe they feel this will liven it up a little bit, and again, put a little defense in the game, which, you got to have some defense in the game. So whether I figure out a way to watch it remains to be seen. I probably won't. Again, if a child's on, I should say watch it. If it's on in the background, will I just sense the intensity level? If my 15-year-old is into it, I probably will do that. Other than that, I won't. I will not watch that event. And there's nothing else in the NBA that you need to know about. A couple of games tonight. Who cares? There's nothing really much else you need to know about in the NBA for a while. Listen, it's Golden State's year. They're gonna win. They're gonna win the Western Conference. I got to see Houston win a big playoff series, and I don't mean a first-round series. I mean a big playoff series. D'Antoni. He has never won big playoff series. I know they like to bring up the idea that the 1 year Stoudemire got suspended and they had the Spurs in big trouble. They could have won that series. All right, fair enough. Maybe there was a year there, a la the Knicks with Ewing with Miami. Maybe there was a yearly, that was a Stoudemire left the bench deal. Robert Horry stole the whole thing, yet in fact Phoenix got more in trouble. But for the most part, the D'Antoni teams are much better in the regular season than they are in the postseason, where it's a different kind of game, more defense. They don't call less fouls. They're not going to run up and down the court. And I got to see Houston play a rugged series and get by before I'm going to believe under D'Antoni that Houston is going to go out there and win some big playoff series. I got to see that. Remember the one big playoff series they won 2 years ago, McHale coached. That was against the Clippers, and they lost to Golden State. That was not D'Antoni. D'Antoni last year, the team collapsed against San Antonio. It was a terrible finish. They didn't show up in Game 6. It was a disaster. I got to see him win a big spot with Harden before I'm going to believe that they can challenge the Warriors. Right now, you got to like Cleveland in the East. Got a long way to go yet, but I think you have to like Cleveland. I think LeBron is into it. 4 in a row. They just pasted Boston. You know they're going to beat Toronto when push comes to shove. Toronto never beats them in big games. They've lost 8 straight. No, I'm sorry. They won 2 games 2 years ago. They're 2-8 against them in the playoffs in the last 2 years. They lost in 6, and then they lost, of course, last year horrifically. Boston will have to play most likely Cleveland in the semifinals, so maybe they wear each other out when Toronto's playing a Washington or something, but I'd have to believe right now that the Cavs will be there at the end. I actually think the Cavs might have an easier run in the East than you can make the argument that the Warriors will have in the West, because Houston, maybe they somehow show up and play some defense, Chris Paul, the whole bit. Maybe they give Golden State a bigger run for their money than the, say, Cavs do with Toronto and Boston. So maybe you can make that argument. But at the end of the day, it will be those two teams most likely as far as the championship series is concerned. That is, in a lot of ways, what's wrong with the NBA. So they take a little break after tonight. There are 2 games tonight. Why they have 2 games tonight, I have no idea. I don't think they're on TNT. Denver's at Milwaukee. Who cares? Lakers are at Minnesota. Who cares? They got Team World versus Team USA tomorrow night. Oh, my God. Saturday, they got Slam Dunk. Oh, my God. And then the All-Star game is on Sunday at 8 o'clock. All right, let's get some phone calls back in the mix. Here's John in Tampa, and he's aboard. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. John, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me? Are you there, Johnny?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Go ahead. What's on your mind today?
I'm not a big fan of shock radio. I never have been. IMIS and all the rest of them. And there's channels on Sirius that are distasteful to me, and I'm okay with that. If you choose to listen to that, that's your prerogative. That's like watching HBO. You get what you get, right? You understand that. The only place I have a problem is once you pass the line of adulthood. that's where the line becomes unacceptable to me. You can't. I know she's 17, but if she was 15 or 13 or 14, it wouldn't matter. You should be outraged anyway. You have a 15-year-old son.
Yeah, you can't say that. The kid can't say that. It was now he said it on Barstool, and I think a suspension would have sufficed. I'm not too sure if he had to be fired, but he said it on Barstool. That's something that you can't defend. Saying that about a 17-year-old girl, you wouldn't say that. That's even for the shock jocks. There's a line you should not cross. That's the bottom line. Go ahead.
So what age is okay?
I'm sorry, John. What was that last point?
What if it's offensive at 17? What if it was 14, 13?
No, it's offensive there too. The question is, what do you do at 19? That's the question.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's not if you go below age; it's if you go above. What do you do if she was 18? I mean, 18. What do you do? 19. I mean, it's just I don't know why you'd go there. Even on Barstool, I don't know what you accomplish with that. So the host was stupid. I'm not disputing. Now, again, I don't know if you can fire him. And Sirius, you'd be fair. I mean, I don't know if it was Barstool that suspended him or Sirius. I'm assuming it was Sirius. I mean, that's being politically correct. Oh gosh, it can be. We got to do something. So let's suspend him for 2 days. When you make a deal with Barstool, sometimes you're going to get this. That's all there is to it. Here's Mike in Boston. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Mike, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Chris, I'm baffled by this. I want to get to the Adam Jones thing, but you just brought up a topic. So you can't go on down that and say something about a 17-year-old girl. But a few weeks ago, when someone went on the radio and said something about Brady's 5-year-old daughter, and he had a problem with it, then that's okay. Brady was in the wrong for that. Right?
No. Brady was. You're missing a point. You're missing a point. No, we're going to go back to Brady now. You're missing a point entirely. My point with Brady was he took it out in a morning show and went on there and said, "I'm never doing a show again." That's the part. Nobody was defending what the kid said about Brady's 5-year-old. Nobody. And it's not the same, by the way, too. Calling the 5-year-old what he called him compared to what. This is a sexualized comment here by the host in KMBR. It's a totally different situation. My issue is not that Brady's kid, they shouldn't say anything about Brady's kid. My argument is the way Brady handled it. That's my argument.
All right. Did you ever listen to Brady's interview and how he handled it? How in the world did he handle that wrong? He was completely classy and everything.
Well, let me ask you this. Did Brady go on the Monday after the Super Bowl?
I have no idea.
Well, hold on now. Hold on now. You heard the way you live in Boston. You live in Boston. You're a Patriot fan. You heard what he said that day. Did he go on after the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
Chris, again, you're spreading untruth.
Mike, did I ask you a question? I'm not spreading any untruth. Did he go on after the Super Bowl the Monday as he always does all year? Every year. Did he go on? Did he? Mike, answer the question. Did he go on the Monday after the Super Bowl? I don't even know. Yes or no?
The Adam Jones thing. You know nothing about the
Forget Adam Jones. We're talking about Brady. Forget Adam Jones. We're talking about Brady. Did he go on after the Super Bowl? Yes or no?
You make stuff up because you're a fraud.
Oh, here we go again now with this. Will you stop with the Brady nonsense, please? Brady didn't go on after the Super Bowl. And there's a big difference between saying something about a 17-year-old girl and calling a 5-year-old a bit of a, whatever he said, a brat. Pissant, annoying. And the Adam Jones thing, I asked Bob Ryan that question. I wasn't there for the Adam Jones claim this. Now, nobody was fired from the Red Sox. I don't think any season ticket were demolished. I don't think anybody was banned from the park for a few years because of what they said. So whoever said what Jones claimed that was said, that person did not get caught. Nobody confirmed it. But I was asking Ryan that, and Ryan would basically say what I basically said. The fact is that Adam Jones has got a good reputation. He's been a good soldier. Leland loves him. He's been a good guy. And you basically got to take him at face value. Now, it was not confirmed, but you got to take him at face value. And that's what Ryan said, and I agree with it. Forget the fraud stuff. I don't mind you saying fraud. Say anything you want, Mike. You want to call me a fraud? That's fine. You say anything you want. I could care less. But get it right. That's all I'm asking. Get it right. Get it right. All right? Okay, don't compare what the kid said to the 17-year-old about the 17-year-old gold medal winner to somebody saying that Brady's kid's annoying, essentially. That's a totally different situation. No, that's not fair. Here's Jay in Cleveland. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jay, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Good, doggy. How are you?
All right, Jay, thank you. What's on your mind now? Far away.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yesterday, acrobat versus athlete. I've got my 12-year-old with me in the car. Entertaining, great radio. Matter of fact, a buddy of mine texted me from Tennessee, asking me if I'm building a luge for my kid in the backyard.
Yeah, I was on that theme, yes.
So then comes the 6 o'clock Eastern hour, and I got to hear these two people telling me how Shaun White, some conspiracy theory wouldn't take questions from women reporters, and they're not happy with how he is not.
So they got into the harassment stuff. To make a long story short,
I looked at Mad Dog Sports to be a radio station, not. I mean, Nicole and Bucher, they're just, I'm not sure what they're viewing their job as. They want to politicize everything, be the moral police. I don't know.
I did not hear it. Fair point. I mean, that seems to be a very unclear situation. I don't think White handled it right with the in the post-Olympic scenario. He did come on the next day after he had, his agent talk to him, making sure he gets endorsements. He came on the next day on the Today Show and basically apologized and said it's not gossip and it's more important than that. So he did a mea culpa on the Today Show on the press conference after he won. He said, "Why do I have to answer these gossipy questions after I just had the day of my life?" And I'm sure the, Left Coast Live, that's what they wanted to get involved with this whole deal with the ex-drummer in his band and what happened there. Who knows? Sounds like he paid her off. I'm more wrapped up. You could go there if you want as a talk show host. To me, what are you going to accomplish? I learned my lesson with those guns, with the Newtown. I spent weeks on that thing. Oh, not weeks. Days on that, and what I get out of it? I got a hostile audience, and I got an impossible question to answer. Whose fault is it when some nutcase with snakes running around his head, brain, takes 3,000 guns with millions of ammo and knocks people off? Second Amendment people go crazy. Other folks that matter say, you know what? Stop buying guns at Dick's Sporting Good. Can't win the argument. Keep it light. 15 after the hour, we continue. Mad Dog.